everybody. Welcome back to this week's edition of The Huddle. I'm Ruth Lang, here with sports editor Mike Brown. As we wind down the season of high school basketball, we want to end it on a high note, featuring that Alliance girls win. That was their second win of the season, and that was due in part to Mays, who had a hot fourth quarter with 10 points in their game against Rootstown on Saturday.
Yeah, that was really nice to see, Ruth, because they've worked so hard and it hasn't translated into wins a lot of times this year. And they got their second win. They've doubled the number of wins they got from last season. I think they're a highly improved team from last season. So the plan is working. It's going to take a while yet, but it's really nice to see that some of that hard work came to fruition against Rootstown to win.
Mm-hmm. Following up on that, senior Kelsey Settle of Sebring led the Trojans to a win recently Monday night. They had a come-from-behind win, close game, 49-46, and Sydney Smith was strong that day as well.
Right, that was a win against the Lisbon Blue Devils. And I'll tell you what, Sebring is playing very good basketball. They've had a winning record this season. And they get to host in the upcoming tournament, and a lot of positives have come out of Sebring's girls basketball season. And they have a great leader. They really have two great leaders in Kelsey Settle and also the Smith girl, Sydney Smith is our athlete of the week this week. So a lot of positives for them as well.
Mm-hmm. West Branch is also continuing on their hot streak, led again as usual by Melinda Trimmer, who had the game high points again. I believe 26 points.
Right. In
their win against South Range.
Right, and that was a good win. That was a one-sided win for West Branch. It was a close game for the first half. They blew it open in the second half. And again, that's a team that finished 18-4 in the regular season, has a number 2 seed coming up in the tournament, and I think they're going to be a factor in the postseason, Ruth.
Speaking of the postseason, there's a new way now for these tournament matchups. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. It's a new format for the boys and girls. If you're a 1, 2, 3, or 4 seed, or a higher seed, we'll put it that way, you get to host in the first round and possibly the second round at the sectional level starting this year. And then at the district level, everything goes to a neutral site, but that's something brand new. So if you're a good team, you get to stay at home. There's a little bit of a comfort zone there. Playing at home, you're a good team, and you get to host as well. Where if you're a team that doesn't have a good record, well, it makes it a little bit more of a challenge in the first round because you're going to be on the road, and it won't be a neutral site. It'll be at the team you're playing site. So it benefits the teams that are good. It's a little tougher for the teams that don't have the good records.
Moving now to boys action. West Branch, unfortunately, came off of a loss, but that was followed up by some weekend back-to-back wins against the Salem Quakers. Tell us a little bit about those games and why the unique situation of the double games right in a row.
Yeah, they were scheduled to play Salem last Friday night and got a win, a one-sided win. And then the second game was a game that was supposed to be at Salem earlier in the season and was actually postponed 2 different times. So they were running out of season to get that makeup game in. They had no other options. So they ended up playing back-to-back, almost like an NBA back-to-back situation. And West Branch went to Salem, John A. Cavas Gymnasium on Saturday night, and got a 68-61 win. It was a little bit closer than Friday night, but they got the win, and that's good for them. I mean, I think that was their 5th win of the year, and they've kind of had a challenging season, so it was nice for them to get a couple back-to-back wins.
Mm-hmm. Marlington had a win against Canton South on Friday, and then unfortunately turned around and took a loss to Austin to Fitch, who had a very physical defense there, so they had to try to figure out how to match up against that.
Right, and that's playing, I salute Marlington for that because Austintown Fitch is one of the largest school districts in Ohio. They're a big Division I school. Marlington is a medium-sized Division II school. So I think that the scheduling idea behind that was, let's go play a really good Division I team, find out where we stand, and this is going to help us in the postseason because we're going to be a Division II school, playing Division II schools in the tournament, which is going to help them. So I think even though they lost that game, I think that's going to help them in the long run.
So that was more of a strategic.
Right, I think so. I really do.
Strategic setup there.
Mm-hmm.
Alliance, the Aviators took a win against Howland, and they also took the NBC title outright when they played the Louisville Leopards on Friday night. And J.J. Kikura was again a key player there.
Boy, what a great season Alliance has had again. It's just a great program. Larry Kikura has done a great job. That program just gets better and better and better every year. And the NBC outright title again, they're 18-2 on the season, and they're just on a roll. They've got some really talented players on that team. J.J. Kikura, in my mind, the top player in the Northeastern Buckeye Conference, and Parrish Martin, and it goes on and on and on. I think Alliance is going to be a really quality playoff team.
And we'll have some of those games posted on our website, www.the-review.com, as well as coverage in the print edition. And also follow us on Twitter at AllRevSports. We'll see you next week.